Ooey, 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 ooey. That's the end of the song, which means it's Monday. It means it's Monday, Monday. Do we know about Monday, Monday? It's mundane out here, guys. It's mundane out here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Monday show, where I'm going to start out talking in my weird radio voice. Oh my God, it's bumper to bumper out there, folks. The rain's coming down. It's about 55 degrees and overcast and blah, 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 blah. What's up? Everybody that's here, I missed your thingy. I missed everybody's chats from earlier because I had to restart my computer. My computer is having some problem today. I am not 100% sure what's going on because I have not bothered to 100% figure it out yet. So I can't tell you what is... Oh, wait, do I have my old chat here? Oh, I do have my old chat here. Wait, no, the old chat's not... What? Hold on, can I live chat it? Maybe I could do that? I don't know who was first. We lost the old chat. The old chat disappeared. Sorry about that, folks. I don't know who was first. I don't know who was last, but I don't know. As far as I know, Ricky Bobby says if you ain't first, use last. So whoever was first, I can't remember. Because it's not written down anymore. The computer restarted. It's not written down anymore. So bummer, dudes. Sorry. Whoever was first, congratulations. I love you more than words can say. Remember that song? The 80s? You guys remember the 80s and 90s? No? Were you not born before then? I was born before then. I've been around. For a little bit. Somebody commented on one of my old videos from, like, only 5 or 6 years ago, and they were like, oh my God, you used to be a teenager. I'm like, what? I don't know what's happening. What's up with you people? What's going on? Why do you think I'm a teenager when I was 37? Or 36? I don't know. But still look like a teenager, still hot and fresh. You know it. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Took a shower today even. Oh my God. Things are good. Things are going pretty well. All issues are constant. In my world, today was a little bit wonky. This weekend was a little bit crazy. As I told you guys on Friday, we have lost Daycare again. Daycare is down thanks to pandemic-like conditions in the daycare. We have the virus circulating that is confirmed. The 19 version, right? Am I allowed to say COVID-19? That's what it is. That's what's going on. So we have another 2 weeks of closure for the daycare. Olivia is here, so bear with me over the next couple of weeks. We are immediately, after 3 weeks of coronavirus nonsense, right back into 2 more weeks of coronavirus nonsense. If you anybody in Western Washington knows the passes where the freeways go over the mountains have been closed for the last 4 or 5 days, which is not normal. Typically, the passes close for short periods of time because of inclement weather, right? But they normally, it's only like 3, 4, or 5 hours, maybe half a day once in a while, because, well, they have all the equipment. You know what I'm saying? They have all the equipment to reopen those roads. And normally, it's not as dramatic as it normally is, or as it is this winter, where they got apparently 5 feet of snow in like 24 hours or something like that. They normally get like, hey, we got 8 inches today. Hey, we got 7 inches today. Oh, we had a clear day. Oh, here comes 6 more inches the next day. That's how it is normally, not 5 feet in one day kind of situation. So, yeah, the grandparents were here because they could not travel back home to their home. And my mother was walking down the stairs and somehow missed a step and it completely broke her big toe on her foot. She said that her foot bent backwards. I didn't see it happen. I don't know when it happened. She said her foot bent backwards. Her toe was completely broken. So I can say that my toe wasn't broken, so I can still walk good. But the people that were going to take Olivia for this next week basically have a broken toe now, and they're trying to scramble and figure out all of the stuff that they're going to be doing over the next period of time here. So my mother has become a hop-along grandma, so we'll see how that goes. We'll see what happens there. but it was a little bit wacky. Carson says you should see my emergency department right now. Yeah, hospitals are overloaded, and about 20% of our population just does not seem to give a shit. They just don't care. About 20% of our population just does not care at all about things that are going on around them if they're not directly affected by them. And so, yeah, I had a conversation with a couple of people this weekend that were here's the thing. They're trying to explain to me that you need to experience something to really know what it is. And obviously one of the examples that I utilized was a pretty big example, right? Like, I don't need to inflict a bullet wound. I guess we'll put it that way. I don't need to inflict a bullet wound upon myself in order to understand how bad that is, right? And they go, well, but that's not the same thing. And I go, okay, then what experience do you need to experience in order for you to understand other people, in order to empathize with what other people are doing and have some kind of idea of what is happening with them, right? And eventually the conversation worked itself around to the point where they kind of go like, oh yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from, where you don't have to actually have experienced something to have empathy for the things that are going on around you and whatnot, and it does make it a little bit easier in order to have those types of conversations. Then today, I get immediately hit with a friend of mine who's a photographer who's driving around, and he's working on a project of documenting America and whatnot, and he was lamenting about how they're kind of not looking forward to coming back to the Pacific Northwest because they've not experienced the level of hospitality in the Pacific Northwest as they have in the South, Florida, whatnot. And they tried to correlate something. I'm not really sure what their thought process is, but they tried to say that like, oh, having to show your vaccine, having to show your vaccine information to somebody to go into a private business is like the military, right? Which is complete absurdity. It's so absurd to the point of, what are you talking about? And here's the thing. If you're in the military, you've got all the vaccines. You've gotten vaccinated. You have to. It's part of your job. It's some of those pieces of paper that you sign when you sign up for the job. So when you talk about the military needing to show paperwork, well, when you're in the military, right, you wear a uniform so everybody knows who you are, and they all know that you're vaccinated. So when you go to the mess hall, for instance, you don't need to show your paperwork because they go like, oh, that's Private Jones. Private Jones can just come right in onto the mess hall and come eat with everybody else because we're all vaccinated, right? Yeah, and so these conversations have been ongoing because we're all tired, right? We're all super tired of everything that's going on. The pandemic is wearing us down. And everybody's getting worn down from it. Now, some people out there have decided to get worn down by it voluntarily because within the first day or two, they decided that they were worn down and just couldn't even bother to do anything, right? They couldn't bother to wash their hands. They couldn't bother to wear just a basic face covering so that you don't spray your stuff all over the place, right? All that basic stuff, they couldn't even be bothered to do that. But now we're living under some kind of military rule, which is weird because the same people are the ones that require other Americans to respect the military, right? We got to respect the troops. We got to support the troops, right? We got to do that all the time, no matter what. But now all of a sudden we're living in a military institution somehow, and that's bad, I guess. I don't know. I think the thought processes that a lot of these people are having are extraordinarily short and just not even well thought out. And it's bothering me a bit, and I'm a little bit perturbed by it. And some people say, don't talk about this stuff on your platform. And I say, I have a platform, so I feel like I want to talk about this stuff. That's what I do. Now, if we want to talk about twin star algae inhibitors, I see that question there from Lorcan Tom Wing. We can talk about algae inhibitors, and here's the thing. I think algae inhibitors, specifically the twin star ones, if you actually look at the science and how they operate, I think that there's some value there, right? The science seems to make sense. I have not seen them work as well as I would expect in the real world, though, right? I've read the science. I understand what's going on. I've seen the presentation. I literally saw the presentation in Germany from the Twin Star people, and it makes sense. It all makes sense to me. It certainly does. I just haven't seen somebody really bear the benefit of that science in an actual application of an aquascaped aquarium and have it go like, wow, that is really the game changer. I think it can be a small component to your success along with a whole lot of other things, but I really don't think it's a linchpin. I don't think it's something that's very important. I don't think it's something that, wow, we really gotta buckle down and make sure we get algae inhibitors in all of our tanks, because I honestly think following water changing, filter maintenance, fertilization, CO2, lights, temperature, if you're maintaining all of those things, you're probably going to see a lot of success. And trimming and maintenance and that kind of stuff. If you're doing that on a regular basis, you're going to have a lot of success. Will an algae inhibitor help you to do those things? Probably. I would say probably. But nothing supplants you doing the work. Nothing. There's not a single thing out there that will offset you not being able to have to do any work. So I always try to explain that to people, and a lot of people get pissed. It's probably the same people that don't want to wear a mask at Walmart, you know what I mean? Because like, wow, it's so much effort, right? But if you're doing that work, you're going to have success, and you got to figure out how much work you can afford to do. That's one of the things that's really important. I actually was talking with Wesley earlier here while I was emailing people back, and that's something that came up during our conversation, was people accumulate a lot of tanks, especially in the United States. I've seen this for sure in the United States. A lot of people will accumulate, and eventually the workload is too much for you to be handling it weekly with all the other things that you got to do. As Mikey said earlier, spending an evening playing Mr. Potato Head or whatever you want to call it, Mrs. Potato Head, gender fluid potato head. I don't care what they're called. The potato with the plastic parts. And doing that with spending an evening playing with Mr. Potato Head with a 3-year-old is a great way to spend your time. And I have to concur. I agree with that. And if I had this overwhelming pressure in order to go do maintenance on 138 aquariums or however many some people have, right? I can't imagine that I would be able to enjoy the things that I'm supposed to be enjoying all while doing the work. You got to really figure out your schedule and what it is that you're going to do. I know some people that had 20 plants with tanks in them and all that stuff. They got rid of 18 of them and they had 2. And guess what? Those 2 tanks outshone the accumulation of 20 tanks by far, right? They were hot on the spot. They were just beautiful tanks, right? And it really is one of those things where you go, hey man, you're putting your energy into something that I would see to be much more beneficial. You know, and I think that's what a lot of what we're lacking here in North America is maybe people trying to focus their energy on too much collecting as opposed to just doing that basic work. Just doing that basic work. New local Austin says, I love potato entities. I am well. How is Joel? I'm good. I'm fine. All is well. I'm a little bit irritated by humans, other humans who are sort of forcing themselves to be irritating without like any kind of introspection or basic just, critical analysis of behaviors and whatnot. But things are good. No complaints. Everything's fine. It's hard work being alive, but who cares? No one cares. I could literally tell you guys my life's the hardest life in the world, and no one would care. People might empathize, but no one would care. People might be empathetic, but they would not care. That's just how it goes. Joel G is the owner of 20 ugly tanks. You're supposed to own 20 ugly tanks and one beautiful one. That is the strip club motto of the South. Strip club motto of the South. Yeah. Northwest Aqua Hobby says, thanks for what you do to me and that you love the show. Hey, Northwest Aqua Hobby, I love you too. I love all you guys. I hope you guys know that. Even people that I don't like. I love them also. Aquaman says, Twin Star helps start up on a new scape. That's about it. So basically, like, and I'm paraphrasing here, so don't quote me on anything. What the Twin Star is doing is creating a chemical reaction in the water to essentially create a small bit of peroxide dosing in your tank. Is basically the way to put it. It's safer than just adding peroxide to your tank, but that's basically what's going on there. You're creating a chemical reaction with water that is basically low dosing a little bit of peroxide made out of the water that's in there, right? And so, is it worthy? Probably. Is it a little bit helpful? Probably. But like I said, I've never seen anybody like take a super crappy tank, do no maintenance to it, and just put a Twin Star in there and see it like turn around or something. It's not the one-stop fix-all. So maybe $100 or $150 out of your specific budget might be spent better. Might be spent better somewhere else. It might be spent better somewhere else. Oh my God! Here, check out the tie-in. Here's a plug. #plug. Maybe your $150 Twin Star money's better spent becoming a sponsor on Patreon. www.patreon.com/Joel_C. Here it is. This is the easiest place to go. And if you want to do a one-time, oh my God, I hit inspect instead of paste. This is why I normally control V, enter. There we go. Somebody asked me if we could do a one-time sponsorship thing. Yes, you can do a one-time donation because somebody wanted to PayPal me money, and I was like, well, look, just go to Patreon. Do a Patreon. What do you call it? I don't know. There's a name for it. Money thing. I'm an idiot. What's wrong with me? Oh, God. I'm going to have to get out of here. I'm too dumb. I'm too dumb right now. Sorry, guys. But you could become a patron and then just cancel it. It's basically, you could do a one-time donation if that's what you wanted to do. I'm not giving out my PayPal to everybody to have, like, super secret PayPal donations coming into the channel. I'm not that. I try to leave it as much exposed to you guys as possible, like the members and patrons are down here. I don't put the dollar amount up there because I would have to change it so often that it would be mind-bending. But the patron one is public, and you guys can go check that out at any time, patreon.com. Or you can become a member on this channel, and I don't even have the link for you to become a member on this channel, but it's a button down below. And somebody also asked me last week, what's the price break? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Patreon is the best as far as the deductions go, but it doesn't matter. Just doesn't matter. If you want to donate $1, feel free. Don't worry about processing fees. It doesn't matter to you guys. Just who cares? Yeah, you as the end user on your end, like it doesn't matter. Who cares? It's no big deal. But we do have some new people as of last week, which is always super nice. Krager's Fish said something, and then the message retracted. I was about to read it, but now I can't read it because it's gone. Oh, wait, here we go. The Frontosa are just looking. Hold on. The Frontosa are just looking at the look. We can't unsee this. We are not sure if we're still hungry. I think the trophies dig my moves, though. Oh, I don't know. Maybe that's why you retracted that comment. I don't know why. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but I'm confused by it. So maybe you're rewriting it. That would be my guess. Gage Roberts says, I know ADA have released different variations now. I just used up all my characters in the message, so I couldn't specify that. Oh, lordy. Yes, ADA Aqua Soil actually has Type 2 and Original. There's different variations of all Aqua Soils out there. So be cognizant in buying anything anywhere. But the reality is going to be, regardless of what type of Aqua Soil you get, doing the work. You're going to have to do the work. That's the point, right? You're going to have to do the work. You're going to have to test your water and know what's going on. You're probably going to have to inject some CO2 at some point if you want to keep some really demanding plants. You're probably going to have to add some fertilizer. If you're adding fertilizer, you're probably going to have to test your water. If you're testing your water, you'll know and have a base knowledge of what's going on and what work needs to be done next. You see what I'm saying? So if you're doing all those things, you're going to see, you are 100% going to see benefit. That's my point. I would admit I have screwed up a lot of aquariums doing heavy trimming and all sorts of stuff like that. They only temporarily screwed up and generally came back, like 98% of the time, came back better than they were before. So even at times when I thought, oh no, I trimmed that too far. Oops, I took out too much of this. Oh, I did too much of that. Don't worry about it, because guess what? Plants grow, bros. That's what they do. That's their thing. That's what plants want to do. Carson Anderson says water changes and test kits less than a twin star. Yeah, it costs less, that's for sure. Which I think was a missing word there, but yeah, water changes and test kits cost less than a twin star, generally speaking. Obviously, over a long enough timeline, test kits, if you're buying a test kit every month or something like that, eventually you'll run into a lot of money. But most people don't. Realistically, I'm not sure how much how much is the master test kit right now? Master Aquarium test kit, fresh water. Oh my God, it's $24.59. It's on sale. Save. Oh my God. Since we are an Amazon affiliate, and some people are confused by that, I'm an Amazon affiliate account. So if you go through Amazon links and you go buy stuff like this Freshwater Master Test Kit, I get the advertising fee, which is anywhere between 2.5 to 3% of whatever the sale is. So on a $25 situation, probably make about 54 cents or something like that. It's the advertising money. I give you the link. I become the advertiser. I get the advertising commission. Okay? Somebody last month bought a $3,000 video card off of my Amazon link, which made the whole month worthwhile, but we only made $122 on the whole month. So it'll give you an idea. If you want to use the Amazon links, I really appreciate it. But to some people out there, they're like, oh my God, he's only ever doing this stuff because he wants to Amazon. Well, if you're the type of person that like $80 or $30 will sway all of your opinions on everything, I don't know what to tell you, but you definitely should get higher standards, is what I'm saying. It's like I said last week. It's gonna take a significant chunk of change. We're gonna need some life-changing money to really sway my crazy opinions, which I think are pretty founded and pretty based. Pretty red-pilled. All that. all that jazz. I'm a pretty, I feel like I'm fairly open-minded about most everything that goes on, and I always try to take empirical evidence into account when I'm talking and doing and living and jiving and coming up with things to do. /B. / whatevs. You know what I mean. You guys get what I'm saying. All right, moving on. But the master test kit is only like $25, so it's literally going to take a really long time to get to that twin star money expenditure number, I think is what mainly the point was there. All right. Hey, guys, we have a super chat we got to mention. We've gotten a super chat from Matthew Romero in the $5 increment, which means it's green colored. So if you happen to scroll up in the chat, you can go look at the glorious green super chat from Matt. It says, sorry for finding the stronghold first. You were so close. That's right. I went to go find the stronghold on our Minecraft server. And, yeah, so I had marked it out, and I dug all the holes and stuff, and then Matt went there and stole the stronghold from me. So there's not really a whole lot for me left to do on the server. I guess everybody's going to go kill the dragon when I'm not around again. So, yeah, that's what will happen, you know? So either way, hey, man, apologies. It's all good. Don't worry. Just the reality of, like, I'm trying to play on a server and everybody else is like just a million miles ahead already. So, just go kill the end dragon and I'll go fly around the end. Yeah, doesn't matter to me. I don't. The realistic thing is that I don't care. It's okay. It's just video games. But, yeah, appreciate you, bud. I appreciate all your hard work. So if you guys don't know, Matt helps out with the website. Would you be open to a live showcasing? Would you be open to a live showcasing your scapes one day? A live what? Like a live stream? Like a live stream of my aquascapes or a live event? I've been to live events. Most of the live events don't want to invite me because there are some super famous YouTubers that really hate me. They really, really dislike me and they have tried to physically fight me. So they, when you go like on the level of popularity, when the super popular, like angry people are mouthing to people, they go, oh no, we're going to lose out on our money. So they don't want me to go do that. I think at some point I would love to do a live scaping event in Europe. If I ever get a chance to do that, I would love for that opportunity. I like how those are actually done. I saw one at Vivarium that had a whole bunch of awesome people at it, where they did like 12 tanks all at the same time. A bunch of aquascapers did them all at the same time, and then they were judged after the fact, which actually I thought was really quite cool, and I thought was a great way for them to showcase people's skills and ability and stuff, and I thought that worked really well. And then a lot of the aquascape tanks that were in a contest, those were all done months ahead of time, as opposed to what happens in the United States, where they sort of just slap a bunch of tanks together the morning of the exhibition, right? So none of the tanks are grown in at all. Wayne Talbot says, come to England. I was supposed to come to the UK this last year. I was supposed to come to the UK. Was it last year? Man, time flies when you're in a pandemic. But was it last year or 2020? It might have been 2020. I might have my dates a little bit messed up, but I was supposed to come to the UK and probably hang out with like George Farmer and some other guys out there. It sounded like it would have been super fun, would have been a good time, but the issue of the pandemic and flying internationally has been a trouble, and a whole bunch of stuff. It's just kind of goofy what's been going on. So those things have been put on hold. Obviously we did international travel to Peru and whatnot and that kind of stuff, but those are sort of, I'm going to be honest with you. It's sort of once in a lifetime to go to Peru, right? It's not, in my opinion, I might be wrong. In my opinion, it's not so much once in a lifetime to go to the UK. You know what? Maybe my opinion is totally wrong and totally unfounded. I just feel like the UK has so much more infrastructure than South America going on that, like, you know, there's a whole lot of places that you could fly into. There's a whole lot of variety of where you could go. Traveling and getting around is fairly, well, not easy necessarily, not to diminish people's, traveling issues. But you got buses, you got trains, you got all sorts of stuff going on. You got a lot of infrastructure is what I'm saying. And I speak the language fluently. At least the American version, where I can just tell English people that they're saying stuff wrong, which is weird because I'm speaking English, right? You get what I'm saying. We got jokes. So it's one of those things. I do plan on coming to the UK, so I very much appreciate you, Wayne, mentioning it, but it is on my list. It's on my list of things to do. But now you got Brexit going on, so now it's going to be more difficult to get into the UK because now you got to go to the UK, and then if you want to go to the EU, you got to go through all that craziness, and I got to admit, it is a little bit of a pain that that has changed. And I should have gone. Hindsight's 20/20 here. I should have gone before Brexit was going to happen. I just never thought anybody would be tricked into voting for that. Honestly, I just don't. But yeah, but I'm trying to plan for this year. I want to plan to go to Vivarium. So it's been canceled the last 2 years. I desperately want to go back to the Netherlands to go to Vivarium. I 100% want to go. I want to go see all my Belgian homies. I want to go see all my German homies. I want to go see all the Egyptians and North Africans, and everybody that was there. It was awesome. It was a great melting pot event of a whole bunch of different cultures coming around. It was rad, and I really want to go back to it. I really want to go back. And I had a load of fun in the Netherlands. I'm trying to go to Denmark and Sweden. I'm trying to do that. That's the loop I want to do this year. I want to do Netherlands, Belgium, Denmark, and Sweden, probably in 2 different legs. Is that going to be possible? Who knows? Probably not, because this pandemic is never ending. Because as I mentioned earlier, a bunch of people are just so wildly inconvenienced. They got to cough on other strangers and stuff. They just have to. They just can't handle it. Lorcan with the update on a live stream event on my Aquascapes is actually just a live stream question. I don't live stream in my fish room. I've tried it before. I've tried it before and admittedly got really, really mixed results. A lot of people were pissed. A lot of people were happy. I don't know. It's just a disaster, honestly. Like, it's just a disaster to try and do live streams in there. I assume at the next property, I'm probably going to set something up. Something that's hardwired as far as like internet access and all that. But right now, it's just not. I don't want to waste my time doing it. We're going to move to a new place, and I just don't. I had this conversation with Vicky the other day that was like, I really want to do the stuff that I want to do, like make more YouTube content. But considering like how busy the schedule is, how we keep not having daycare, it's just. And the other thing on top of it is, if I set up a bunch of new tanks and do a bunch of stuff in the fish room, I'm going to have to tear it apart very, very soon. And it just feels wrong to be doing that work just for the sake of, like, I made a YouTube video. Like, I understand you guys just want to watch content. Like, I get it. I want to watch content too. I'm with you, by the way. Whenever I point that stuff out, I'm in the same group as you. I want to watch interesting things. That's what that's what I want to do. So, I'm with you on that, and you guys don't really care about that, but that's the reality that I'm at right now. Is like, I don't know if I want to do crazy bunch of work in there. Aqua Blue Bear says, when you say the UK, would you ever visit Scotland? No, I'd never visit Scotland ever, never, ever. Yeah, of course. I'm not 100% on the nomenclature of everything that goes on in the UK. Like, I understand the Irish don't like, and the Welsh don't like, and the Brits don't like, and you got your own all your historical crazy stuff going on. Scotland, Ireland, England, Wales, whatever. I would like to go all around that island, if it's possible. I might just end up going to London and a couple areas around there because time frame and money and all that kind of crap will likely come into play. But I would love to visit Scotland. Got no problems with Scotland. Y'all got the same weather I do, so I'm totally used to it. I got the pants. I got the sensible shoes. I got a jacket. I don't own an umbrella because I'm from that environment. I don't have an umbrella, but I do own these buggas along with many other sunglasses. Like people in California, you probably own more umbrellas than you do sunglasses. Because you ain't used to the rain. I'm used to the rain. I'm used to inclement weather. It doesn't mean I enjoy it all the time, but I'm used to it. Oh, my God. We don't even have enough likes. Oh, my God. How are we going to have enough likes? How is it possible to have enough likes? I don't know if we're ever going to have enough likes. Because as soon as we get enough, it's never enough, right? The like button is like a bad, bad drug. Oh, we always got to talk about the like button. It's very important. Robots love it when you click the like button, and you know what? If you click the like button, Skynet moves you down the priority list. When you've never hit a like button, Skynet starts to put you at the very, very top of the list. So I would keep that in mind if I were you. I would keep that in mind, bros. Like, if you're not hitting the like, somebody hit the unlike button. Nice. If you don't hit the like button, Skynet really, they move you up the priority list of who's gonna get Schwarzeneggered, I mean, by that I mean there's gonna be a nude dude time traveling. That's gonna be the thing. There's gonna be a naked guy time traveling and showing up in your backyard. Alyssa, it could be that I always try to vacuum but leave a little bit of crud mulm and whatever it is so they can sift around it. Oh, that's good. That is good. S said, hi, Borvis. Yo, Borvis. That's me. Borvis, the most boring Corvus of all time. Yes. Wayne Talbot, but we've got broad shoulders. I don't know who has broad shoulders. Oh, the English? I don't know. Wayne, everyone hates the English. I don't know if that's true, but you definitely have colonialized like a lot of the world. So I could see why people may or may not kind of dislike the heritage of England, right? Of the empire, the English Empire, imperialism, whatnot could be a problem. But I don't think anybody currently alive right now had anything to do with that. But I certainly don't know all of you, so. Could be an issue. Could be an issue. But I will say this: most of the race realists that exist on the internet all seem to have an English accent, which is weird. It's kind of weird. Is it a coincidence? Maybe. I don't know. Xanadudu's here. What's up, Xanadudu? Says too much ain't enough. Too much ain't enough likes to satisfy me. That's a hell of a sentence. Read that 10 times fast. And let me know how. Let me get back to me on how it went. Yeah. I know you mentioned in a few older videos that stratum and Amazonia are essentially the same. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oops. Pasted my question again in the chat. Okay. So here's the thing. Like, Amazonia and stratum aren't the exact same product. They are manufactured in the same manufacturing place. Stratum seems to not have ammonium byproduct as at high a level as the 88 Amazonia. That seems to be the big difference between the two. Feel is about the same. Overall fertilization is about the same. The cation exchange capacity is about the same. The biggest difference is that 88 Amazonia seems to have a much higher percentage of added ammonium into it, which is a helpful Kickstarter to a new tank. Because guess what? Ammonia is essentially free fish fertilizer or free plant fertilizer. Oh my god, I'm getting a. Excuse me, I've had a weird tickle in my throat all day today. I was taking some antihistamines, and I haven't taken them for the last couple of days, and I've had this weird little tickle in my throat. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's related. Might be related. Wayne Talbot says we gave the globe a universal language. It's arguable that America kind of did that. It's kind of arguable that America sort of really put that in place. Realistically, I would, yeah, you know. But then again, you know, it was mostly Latin is the one that really like put that out there. You know. Let's see. Carson says, my football stratum is like 5 years old now. How long is this stuff considered good for? If you're talking about an air quote good situation, it's basically like, is it holding form? Is it performing well for you? Then there you go, right? If it's performing well for you and doing all those things, then it's still good. It's fine. A lot of times when substrates are air quote not good anymore, right? And it's time to kind of get rid of them and swap them out. It's basically they're just exhausted. Like they've exhausted their ability to exchange and provide fertilization for the plants that are in the tank. And it more often than not can be pretty well figured out by sort of a lot of deficiencies in your plants and stuff like that. But if you're fertilizing the water column, generally, as long as stuff's still holding shape, it's still going to be fine. So I really wouldn't worry about it that much. I don't know. I just keep coughing here. It's a little bit weird. I've been drinking coffee. Does coffee help with the tickle in the throat? Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? Where did that go? Do you have any USB or solar air water pumps on Amazon links? USB or solar air water pumps? I mean, USB or solar air water pumps. Well, if you're talking about like water pumps, like any DC pump that is on there will work generally with a solar system. You just need to stack it to whatever voltage it needs to be. So, you know, a DC pump is going to work. You'll obviously have to do the math and whatnot, but air pumps, I mean, there's some USB ones, but yeah, I don't know. Let's see if there's a USB air pump. Aquarium. I know that like Aquarium Co-op has a new one. Is there Aquarium Co-op listings on Amazon now? Oh, somebody's selling the Pickle Rick on here. Somebody is selling the Pickle Rick, dude. Nope. I'm guessing that people just search for it a lot. would be my guess there. It looks like people just search for it a lot because there isn't anything showing up here. Let me see if there's one. I remember there was one USB pump that I tested a while back, and it actually worked really well. I just don't use air pumps very often, so it's just not plugged in, and they didn't want me to make a YouTube video about it. The people that wanted me to test it did not want a YouTube video made out of it, which I thought was interesting, but they actually just wanted me to test it and let them know what I thought, which is kind of interesting. I did not receive any money for testing it, just the product, and they just let me keep it. That's all. And they just wanted to know what I thought. What are your thoughts, is what they wanted. And I told them, Dees, bro. Dees is what I told them. I can't seem to find it, though. Can't seem to find it. I can't find it on Amazon. So, don't know. It's the only USB one other than the Pickle Rick. And when I say the Pickle Rick, it's because it looks like the Pickle Rick from Rick and Morty, right? Right? Where is it? Oh my god, this one's like a little bear. This is not the bear one. But tell me these don't look like a Pickle Rick. Those ones really look like a Pickle Rick. But anyhow, yeah, I digress. Yeah, I would say like solar powered water pumps is just literally like a DC water pump. So and then just got to set it, run it to whatever volts, 12 volts, 24 volts, whatever you're supposed to be putting to it. So I can't tell you what voltage to put to those things because I don't know what pump you're gonna acquire. But any DC pump is already on DC solar, you know. Did I watch the new season of Rick and Morty? I haven't really watched any Rick and Morty. I've watched a couple of episodes, and I could see what they were doing with it. I just didn't like enjoy it really. So I guess that's the easiest way to put it. Like I was just like, I don't know, I'm just not enjoying this. But I appreciate a lot of what they're doing, and hopefully, you know, exposing people to some literary themes that are pretty important. But personally, I feel like if you're going to expose me to literary themes, I'm just going to go read the book or download the audio book and listen to it that way. So yeah. You know, and it's one of those things. It's like if you're doing like an Edgar Allan Poe episode of something, it's like, well, I've already read all the Poe, you know, so I feel like I have a good understanding, and I don't think I'm necessarily being exposed to something I've never seen before. You know, whereas like The Mandalorian that just came out. The Book of Boba Fett. Okay, episode 1 was okay. Like, yeah, but it was okay. There were definite problems with episode 1, which I'm not going to talk about right now. But episode 2, you're like, wow, amazing. You got flashbacks, you got storytelling, you got progress with the story, you got things happening, you got all sorts of expansion of characters that were in the early movies. There's a lot going on there, a lot of good stuff, and never read that book. So, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, dude, I don't know. Oh, God, Fish Tropic appreciates the humor. Oh, crap. Easy Green is on Amazon? Is it really? In the U.S.? Let's see. Let's take a look. Easy Green is not on Amazon. Oh, I should probably type it correctly. Let me see. I think it's on Amazon in Canada. I think it's on Amazon in Canada. I think so. I think it's on Amazon um, in Canada or some other. I think just Canada. Just Canada, I think. Yeah. So if you're in Canada, you can just order Easy Green off of there. To my recollection, that's the only place that you can get Easy Green on Amazon. I do recall Corey talking about how it's going to be pretty overly priced because of all the import, export, blah 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 craziness. For instance, I had to ship a small package to Canada earlier today, and instead of it being the what is it, $8.50 or something like that, it was $30.70. So, it just gives you an idea. Just to ship across the border, it's just a small package. That's all. Nothing. It fits it ships box. What's the rate on that? Fits it ships box small box cost. What does that thing cost? USPS flat rate priority. This one. How much does it cost to ship the dang thing? This is like, if I want to order the boxes, I can order them up for $0. What's the rate? Okay, rate. Small box, $7.90. Man, I was close. So instead of it being $7.90, it was $30.70. Gives you an idea. Slight difference in just shipping stuff over. And, I think a lot of people forget this in the States. I think a lot of people forget this in the States, is that Canada is a whole nother country. I think a lot of people in the U.S. forget that. I'm going to be honest with you. I think there's a lot of people in the U.S. that are like, oh, it's just, it's just like one of those other states. It's like Alabama, but with Molson, But it's not. It's a whole nother country. Let's see here. And the United States Postal Service is amazing. I love the United States Postal Service. You guys are the best. I want to expand the United States Postal Service. Quit wasting money on international war military nonsense when we could just expand the United States Postal Service. 100%. I've talked about this a million times on the live stream, and I'll talk about it always whenever it pops into my brain because I want to tell you guys about it, and one person in here might not have heard it. I want to open a small medical office. I want to open a small bank branch. And what else? What else do we want to open in there? Does anybody remember? Well, either way, we can expand the Postal Service to have a small bank branch, to have a small medical office, and police training. So these three things would accomplish a whole lot of issues that we have in the United States without wasting money and or calling things handouts, by expanding a service that we all want and need, which is packages delivered everywhere. Okay? We all need packages delivered everywhere. Amazon Prime is super popular, or Alibaba, or AliExpress, or whatever. All these giant billionaire companies from just sending stuff to people, right? We all want stuff delivered to our place. We don't want to drive to the store. It's a nightmare to drive to the store. That's just how it is. We just don't want to. We're all very busy, and if you could save yourself an hour and a half driving to and from a store, we're all going to, not do that. We're just going to not do that. But with a small medical office, we can start to train nurses, MAs, NAs, LPNs, doctors probably at some point or whatever, or a lot of doctors that are doing their, MP or whatever. I don't know. I forget what it is. When you're becoming a medical doctor. MA, I think. Yeah, I don't know. But we could get a lot of training. We could get a lot of opportunity for people to get experience. We could put them in an environment that we know is likely to protect them from being exploited or whatnot. And it's a place for people to be trained and move up in their career, because we're going to need a lot more healthcare professionals. The United States is especially getting older, right? I think what is it, 18% or 21% or something like that of our U.S. population over 65 is a lot. It's a lot. 54.1 million, which is, can we do math? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So 17%, 17, was that 16.4 or something like that? Yeah, let's call it 7. Let's round it up. We'll call it 17% of the United States population is over 65, which is going to need proportionally a lot more medical care than anybody else. But we need more doctors. We need more nurses. We need more LPNs. We need more medical assistants. We need all those people. We need to train them. We need a mechanism to do that other than for-profit private schooling. If people could work their way up with experience and get into some classes without having to do some kind of crazy, I don't know, student loans, which are a hot topic these days. Guess what? If you're a hyper-conservative Republican, guess what? These people will be able to work for their education. If you're a super liberal that doesn't want people to be taken advantage of by predatory loans, guess what? People will be working. They'll be able to get done with their training and all that kind of stuff without a bunch of debt. And we get a lot more of those people. If we're talking about police, we're not going to defund the police. We're going to up the training. We're going to up the screening. We're going to up all of that stuff because guess what? Guess who is a better pool of people to pull from for police force? Former mail carriers. You know why? They know the area. They're familiar. They've worked out there in the public, on the beat, on foot, going door to door, knowing all the people, knowing all the stuff. We know that they show up to work on time. We know that they can deal with the repetitive nature of things. We know that they can deal with animals. We know that we can deal with Steve moved his mailbox, and every time I go over there, Steve's yelling at me about something. I can deal with that guy. I can deal with this. I can deal with that. We know that they have a good, solid temperament, and they know everything about the neighborhoods that they could possibly be working in. Guess what? If you want to be a cop, you first become a mail carrier. You're going to do that for a couple of years. You're going to go through a bunch of training while being a mail carrier in order to be able to step into the police force and be ready to engage with your local population, right? Your local population is going to be able to engage with you. You're going to be able to engage with them. Things are going to work out. You're going to know when things are suspicious because you've been walking around this neighborhood for the last 3 or 4 years, right? Okay? We're also talking about predatory banking. Every year, billions and billions and billions and billions and billions upon billions of dollars are extracted from poor people because they don't have access to banks. You probably have access to banks. I'm not necessarily talking to the specific audience that is here, but people are being preyed upon because they don't have a checking account, a savings account, all this kind of stuff, and access to that stuff in an easy way. Or even if you're just trying to trying to cash your check, you end up losing out on 5% of your paycheck because you got to go to a check cashing place. It's all crazy. We got to get rid of that. But we also need more people who are ready to work in the banking field. Maybe you want to go into economics. Maybe you want to just actually become a professional teller. Maybe you want to become a mortgage loan assistant, whatever those people are. I can't remember what they are. Maybe you want to become a CPA. Maybe you want to become whatever. We need more people that are readily trained to go work the everyday average jobs in that situation and be trained so that we could pay them well. You know what I'm saying? If they were being trained in that situation, we could send them through school. They don't get out with a bunch of loan debt. They don't get out with a bunch of crazy bad ideas about how things work. Guess what? Boom, boom, boom. It's going to handle a bunch of the issues in which we have going on in society right now. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? Guess what? Maybe places like Amazon and whatnot lose a little bit off the bottom line. I don't care. That's fine. They certainly will not go out of business. So if anybody out there wants to argue with me about, well, they're going to go out of business, I don't care. And if you are so concerned about Jeff Bezos' $550 million boat, right? If you're super concerned that he doesn't have enough of those boats, you're not a person I can rationally have a conversation with. It's just probably not going to happen. It's probably going to deteriorate into you calling me an idiot, right? and then I'm going to be like, well, I guess we're done here, you know? So, yeah. Fish Tropic says people that come out of jail hard enough to find work, then you need 2 pieces of ID to cash the check. Yep, exactly. We have a lot of people that have been stuck into our institutions and whatnot, and there's no real opportunity for them to come out and get a real serious job. I mean, that whole situation to me just hurts my brain. It hurts me on a regular basis. It makes me so sad. And I've seen the hiring practices of a lot of businesses over the years. And honestly, it's one of the reasons I work for Aquarium Co-op. They're not like that. So, there was a video that came out this weekend highlighting one of the teams at Aquarium Co-op down at the store, and I got to admit, it was a very truthful representation of what goes on within the business practice there. It was really good. It was an awesome video. Jimmy did a great job making that video. It was fantastic, and if you guys go watch that, I think it gives you a perfect exhibit of why I work however you want to put it, the Aquarium Co-op, from the top down, from Corey all the way down, just a stellar group of awesome people that are all very cognizant of each other's, trying to help each other out and all that kind of stuff while being in a positive work environment, you know? So the state sounds like 8 times bigger, like it's a bigger mess than the UK. Well, you got to remember that the United States is as big as the EU when the UK was in it. The EU is smaller now because like 60 million people from the UK left, but geographically and population-wise, these United States are equivalent to the EU when the UK was still in it, right? So if someone wants to ascribe problems to the United States, I would like them to apply them in the way that they would to the EU, right? Is that you go like there's a lot of different cultures, there's a lot of different areas geographically, economically, all these things come into play when you're talking about the United States. So I often try to explain myself in a way that says there's not a one-size-fits-all solution to fixing any kind of problems. But honestly, the United States Postal Service is not only is it huge, it goes to every location pretty much in the United States. It's touching doors. It's everywhere. They're a huge employer. They pay well. They have retirements. They have benefits. They have all of the old-timey things that people expected from jobs that jobs generally do not supply now, which is a good pay rate, a retirement, and benefits, and all of the things that we would generally, classically expect from an employment position in which you are working very hard at, you're dedicating your life to. So I think expanding that to fix a lot of things is probably the way to go. And one of the big reasons for that is that it is a publicly run program in which it is easy. Okay, it's not easy or simple to have oversight, but there are much less obstructions in order to have oversight of how the system is running, because it is a public, because it's a public, because it's a public institution, right? So if there are things going on there, it's very easy for us to find out about it because we are citizens and our taxes are going in to fund the service. To say that it's a business is completely disingenuous and totally crazy and just a blatant lie, and they're trying to trick you. They're trying to trick you into thinking that the United States Post Office is a business. It's not. It is a service, just like the military is a service. We do not expect to get a profit from the military, right? We don't expect to get a profit from the Coast Guard, okay? It's a service. We fund it, and it does the service. You understand? It's not a business. And all these crazy people that want to go, it's losing money, it's a business, it'd be failing. It's a funded service. You know what I mean? Color Guppy says benefits are huge and matching 401k, etc. That's right. And I want that for more people. I think that it's reasonable to want that for more people too, because you go, show up, you work hard, you do the work you're supposed to do. There should be some kind of reasonable level of benefit for that. You're sacrificing your life to do a job, right? Then there should be some reasonable amount of benefit for it. That should just go without saying, but we have to say it. Welcome to the year 2022, where we have to say it out loud for people in the back that just aren't paying attention. I meant as it's fundamentally run the economy. Well, we're becoming less and less regulated late stage capitalism here in the United States. So, but so is the UK. You know, so to a different degree here for sure. But yeah, it's important to start to realize like just how many things have been tried and tested to see, right? What's beneficial and what's not, and I think we should start to apply some of those things at this point, because we have enough historical knowledge to go like, that didn't work. Oh, that did work. Let's do that, right? Yeah. Space boat. It's not a boat. It's a spaceship. Fish Tropic. Let's look up Bezos's boat. Bezos. $500 million boat. Here we go. We'll get a picture of it. We posted this up a little while ago. Jeff Bezos, he's got a boat that launches other boats. It's a ship, and it's probably military grade. I want to see it with a boat next to it. Is this it? Jeff Bezos, he spent $500 million on a boat. He could have chipped me just $500,000 to make videos, but he never did. Oh, he's got a bunch of them. It's ridiculous. Oh my
when
God,
I was shopping around for yachts, I did consider having one built just...
Whoops, I accidentally clicked on a video. I didn't even realize that was a video. It's like amateur hour up in here. Where's this damn boat? Like, none of these images give you an idea of how big it is. Is this it? Yeah, here it is. Okay, maybe this picture gives you an idea of how big this freaking boat is. It's so huge. Where's our image thing? There it is. Media files. Look at this boat in the darkness. In the cover of darkness, Bezos's boat is launching other boats. That's how big it is. It's got a helipad on the front and a submarine that comes out of the side. Look at this. Opulence. This level of opulence is beyond the pale. Okay? Look at this. There's a floor here and a floor here. There's, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 floors. This boat has six levels. Six levels of opulence, okay? You know? Like, it's just ridiculous. It's the worst. It's the worst thing ever. Mainly because he didn't give me any millions of dollars to make YouTube videos. That's the main reason, and also he's just sucks. That guy sucks. I mean, really does. USPS flat rate boxes are $7.90. The Love Bezos boat. Oh, okay. Yeah, so today's topic at the top was realistically brought up to you oh, it's kind of funny. I love the funny comments. I love the funny comments that, like, Sorry. I'm getting funny comments. But yeah, what is it? What was I talking about? Oh, today's topic is whatever happened to predictability. The newsman, the paperboy, the evening TV. Wah, 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 wah. Yes, actually has to do. It was a callback to Full House. If you've ever seen the show Full House, it stars a comedian named Bob Saget. Now, Bob Saget passed away this weekend, and was he an influential guy? Yes, he was an influential guy. He was on Full House, and then he was on America's Funniest Home Videos, I believe, right? What? I think he was on America's Funniest Home Videos. Yeah, yep. And so when I was a young guy, Bob Saget was super influential. He was on a very, very popular TV show. And then he was on a very, very, very popular TV show. Two very, very, very popular TV shows where he played not himself. Okay? He played a caricature not at all like himself. Had nothing to do with who he actually was or what he was up to. He played the most clean-cut suburban dad, conservative-y guy who was, hey, I'm every guy, I'm the super nice guy. And realistically, he was a comedian that was more crass than anything you've ever heard before or probably will ever hear again. He was definitely out there, and people did not know how to react when they found out who Bob Saget actually was, because they spent 20 years or whatever, 15 years or whatever, growing up knowing that guy acting like another person because he was acting on TV. And a lot of people thought, wow, Bob Saget, he's like the nicest guy ever. He must be the nicest dude on the whole planet. Now, I think he was genuinely a nice guy to his friends and stuff like that. But my interpretation of getting to know Bob Saget, from him being so, like, he was like everywhere when I was a kid. He was on the biggest TV shows, 2 of them. And back then, TV had like, I don't know, 25 channels or 30 channels or something like that. Like if you had extra cable, you had like 50 channels maybe. So when things were on the big 5 networks, they were huge. Like everybody knew what happened to Seinfeld, for instance, right? When things were big back then, they're way different than they're big now. But think like not even Robert Downey Jr. really does it. But like just think of the biggest star you know and just kind of amplify that a bit. Because that's how big Bob Saget was. Now the weird thing is he was playing characters that were, one of them, he was playing a character on this TV show where he was the dad, and he was a very clean-cut, straight-laced dude, which wasn't a representation of himself. Obviously, he was acting and playing a character, but then he was on America's Funniest Home Videos where he was also acting, but he was just playing Bob Saget, like, but he was playing it like super straight-laced or whatever. And when people found out like who he actually was, I think when that happened for me, I went, oh, wow. These people are all acting all the time. And it like really pulled the curtain back for me, because I think I was probably 20 or 18 or something like that. When you found out like, oh, he's like a super crass comic. Oh, he's just like a smoke-filled room kind of dude telling crazy jokes in the middle of nowhere kind of dude. Like, that's just who he was. And you realize, like, wow, these people are all acting, and it's possible that these people are all acting all the time, right? So it's kind of weird. And it's kind of weird to see. It's kind of weird to see that and have seen that in my lifetime, right? And I always kind of like took it with a grain of salt. They're like, okay, the guy was famous for having done this and that, and he seems like he's pretty genuine and whatnot. But obviously, you just have a total misinterpretation of who is on the airwaves out there, and like who they're playing. Like when they could just be playing a character all the time. Yeah, it's a little bit weird. And it's sad that he passed away. The initial stuff that I read about said it didn't seem like there was foul play or drugs or anything like that. So it's just kind of sad, but it's a reminder that sometimes people just pass away. Like sometimes they just don't live anymore. Fish Tropic says yet another one died in their house. Something seems so shifty. That I haven't heard anything about that. I'm not sure what you're referencing, but you know, it's just a bummer, and it's just a reminder that to me that people should you know, just try to appreciate what we have today, what we're working on today, what's going on today, and like what you can do to try to improve today as much as you possibly can. On that note, 2,799 days. I'm coming up on 2,800 days tomorrow. I'm gonna hope I hit the bigger numbers. That's all I'm trying to do. Focus on that. Take care of my family. And just try to be the best person that I can, you know, and continue on down the happy road that I'm on now, which is just really, dude, like, come on, man. The benefits I got around here are pretty strong. I got a beautiful partner. I got a beautiful daughter. I got a lovely family. I got a roof over my head. It's warm in here. I got sandwiches in the fridge. You know what I'm saying? We got food. We got all that stuff. We get opportunity to work. Health is pretty good. And things are up and up, man. No complaints. We're just going to keep rocking and rolling. You know what I mean? 503 Aquatics is here. She keeps not inviting me to come on the ladies show. You know, I wanted to come on the ladies show. I don't know if I'm as enthusiastic now as I was before. I really wanted to come on the ladies night before I go on with Dr. Black on Tuesdays. But I will say 503 Aquatics does a cool live streams on a regular basis with a lot of people from around the communities. From the Fish Fam, I guess. I don't know where the Fish Fam thing came from. It popped up, and people use it a lot, and it's a thing, I guess. I don't know. But there's a lot of people around popping in there that are entertaining and know a lot about fish and stuff like that. So it's kind of like here. There's a lot of ribbing, jokes, sidebars, but also some good information here and there. But you definitely got to ask about it. You know what I mean? That's what you got to do here, and that's what you got to do there. Armed turrets for pirates shoot laser beams. Okay, well, I don't know what that means. Let's see here. 417 feet long, and he paid hardly any UK tax. That's right. Yep. Large corporations defer their taxes. That's one of the biggest things that most people don't realize is when you're super wealthy like that and you have a big business, you borrow some billions, right, against the business. You spend those billions, and then you just kind of make payments on it. And then when you die, it doesn't matter, you know, but it's all tax deferred because you aren't really taking in any income, right? Just you don't have to get taxed on that because you pay yourself like a $60,000 a year salary, and you just pay taxes on that part, and then the business just ropes everything else into tax write-offs and stuff like that. You might need to have a conversation with your spouse before you go on a ladies stream. Alana, I don't need to have a conversation with my spouse before I go on a ladies stream because we got a strong relationship. I think we have a strong relationship. I'll check. No, never mind. You're right. I'm going to check. I love Vicky. She loves me. We trust. We got a lot of trust. So things are good. You know what I mean? Watch Boba Fett, and remember, Attack on Titan going to drop soon. Attack on Titan. When does Attack on Titan drop? I know that there was some new Attack on Titan coming out. Maybe the final season. I don't know when it is. You got to send me a link. That first Aquarium filter pads are bomb. Thanks for sharing that. Thanks, Terry. I have enjoyed them, and I've seen mostly positive reviews. A couple people said they didn't like them. I found them easy to cut, easy to fit, easy to put in. They seem to work really well, and not an issue, like not a problem, as far as I know. So things are good. Fish Tropic says he is a real man. I am a real man. I'm a real boy. I did hear a conversation recently about some sort of popular, I guess they're like popular TikTok guys who are supposed to be like giving dudes advice or whatever. It was on Green is Not Nick, or Nick is Not Green. Nick is Not Green YouTube channel. He did a piece on those guys, and then they reviewed his piece, and then he reviewed their review of him reviewing them. It was very meta. It was layers within layers, like coming at you. And I didn't know really anything about any of these people, but he was playing a lot of clips, and like one of the clips that they were talking about was this dude was like, "You cannot have platonic relationships with other women once you're in a relationship with other women," and it's like, just even on the basis that you've like just excluded half of the population, right, is absurd. Like you've eliminated 50%. It's like 50% of the population. Like, why would you even hamstring yourself that way? And I guess the idea is that like these dudes can't like not be romantically attracted to other women. I guess maybe it's just impossible for them to be like friends with other humans. I guess I don't know. It was a very weird thing. I guess maybe if anybody finds it interesting, let me know, and I'll expound on it more. But it was like, why can't you be friends with other humans? What's the deal? And it's like, well, I could be friends with my boys, and you're like, what? Why wouldn't you be just friends with other people? Like, what? I don't understand. I don't understand it. I guess there's just a lot of dudes out there that just can't figure out how to not, like, I don't know, ruin their monogamous relationship. I guess maybe just don't commit to somebody then if you're not ready for it, and just don't do that. I guess it's just bizarre. I don't know. It's just bizarre to me. Men and women can have platonic relationships in and out of a partnership. Yeah, I'm friends with, I would say that like my close friend group is probably 20 people, I would say. Like my close friend group is probably 20 people, and I'd say like 7 or 8 of them are women, I think. Something like that. I'm just spitballing numbers here. I think it's about right. The people I'm in contact with is like 20 or so. And it's not exactly 50-50, but it's just because like I was friends with some dudes from when I was little kids. I think pretty much it's about that, right? That is very weird. I didn't mean that you couldn't be friends with the ladies without asking your spouse, just that you might want to talk to her before becoming a lady myself. I think, if I was going to become a lady myself, I think Vicky would accept that. If that was what was going to go down, I think Vicky would be accepting. I would imagine. I would imagine just because the same, I would be accepting of whatever Vicky needs. Like we have that kind of tone. Our relationship has that tone. Our relationship has the tone of like, what am I thinking about here? What's the word I'm thinking of? Compassion, affection, all of those things for sure. But what's the compromise? Yeah, we definitely compromise and try to do the best that we can for each other. So, yeah. Alyssa Bentley says, I don't know if anyone realizes this, but I'm a lady. I think you are a lady. As far as I know, you've told me you're a lady, so I assume that's the case. Color Guppy says, it's always a fine line. Not all men want to be friends. I guess that's true. Sorry, I just read Fish Tropics. I'm not going to say it out loud, but it's pretty funny. It made me laugh. Honestly made me laugh. It's not ladies only, no boys, men tolerated. Oh, okay. Men tolerant. I like that. That's good. And by the way, to people out there that are confused by the idea of toxic masculinity, like that's a perfect example of toxic masculinity. It's like, I can't be friends with other women because what? like, what's the deal there? It's always a fine line. Not all men want to be free. Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of dudes out there that just can't control themselves with all sorts of things. Like Jeff Bezos and a $500 million boat. Joseph Stanley says, hey, y'all. How late am I? Always late. You're pretty late. We're like an hour and a half in. We're longer than that, I think. Math, hour and a half, hour and 40 something. Where's my counter at? Oh my God, it like reset or something. This is not a helpful countdown clock like it normally is. What's this one over here? What's this one say? 2:20, 3:04. It's still an hour and a half or something. I don't know. You figured you'd have it on display, but it's just not going to work. Man, we're missing a lot of member green in chat. Where's all our members at? Our members should be chatting hard. Or people that are not members should become members. I think that's the moral of that story, I think. Man, always be selling, right? You always, or ABC, always be closing. Always be closing. Who was always be closing? That was always be closing. I always forget and get that one wrong. It was Glengarry Glen Ross, right? Always be closing. Glengarry Glen Ross. That's right. Played by the infamous Alec Baldwin. Great actor. Great dude. Seems to be a great dude. I don't know. But maybe he's just acting. I don't know. But I think he seems to be a good dude. Yeah, always be closing is Glengarry Glen Ross. You'll have to look that up yourself because I'll get a copyright claim if I play it on accident. They'll be like, that's from a movie. We recognize those sounds. Aubrey says hard chatting. That's true. You got to be hard chatting. Always be hard chatting, right? Is that our rule around here? Always be hard chatting. ABHC. Always be hard chatting. There we go. Color Guppy says you will always meet people you are attracted to. I don't know if that's true. There's a lot of times where I'm meeting people that are not attractive to me. Like, seems to be always. Yeah. No problem joining Corey and Jadron. What? Oh my God, I hear my daughter running upstairs like a wild animal. I always want to become members, but you two being an ass and not letting me. That's weird. Yeah, I don't know why that's the case. Do we even have our every time I go to like see if there's the link where I can share it, it just doesn't exist. I don't know why. Wayne Talbot. Yes. Good night. Oh, good night. Yeah, it's midnight out there. It's midnight out there in the UK. So good night. Get some sleep. Get some rest. Get some resty sleep. Get refreshed for tomorrow and get strong. Get stronger, right? Somebody mentioned see, look at this. I don't even have the join links thing for some reason. The links to share. It just doesn't pop up. I don't know why. Do I need to go? I might need to go over here because it doesn't show up in my control panel anymore. I don't know. It's really stupid. Let's go to the channel here. Can we hit the join button? Does that... Report perks. Why would I want to report perks? That doesn't make any sense. I don't know. It's like a non-shareable link. I don't know why. I don't know. You used to be able to share the link, but we can't do that anymore. I don't know. This damn thing's broken. What do you want me to do? I don't know. I was going to share the join button, but I can't do it anymore. It's broken. I don't know. Let's see. Fish Tropic says you're not attracted to your friends, right? Because if you were attracted to them, you would be cheating mentally with someone else. Well, I think the reality is that like I could see how other people are attractive. Like I can appreciate other people's attractiveness. Yes, I can do that. I'm a fully functional, like human-brained human, right? Like my brain functions properly, so I can recognize aesthetic beauty around. But it doesn't necessarily. That doesn't control my actions as I interact with the world, right? It's not the dictating factor to like how I'm going to act as I wander around, right? It's not the main thing driving any of my actions. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think as people grow and I don't know, like maybe as people grow and experience other things, you can probably figure some stuff out. But, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't think it's necessarily just an age thing, right? So you never know. You never really know. We can have theories. Oh, Fish Tropic says, when does physical and mental become cheating? It all depends on. That's all different depending on everybody's relationship, right? You understand that? Like you guys are in charge of setting the parameters of the relationships that you're in. And hopefully they meet your wants and needs, right? So, and if not, I would recommend approaching your partner and having a discussion with them about what it is you can and cannot accept within the relationship. That's what I would do. That's my recommendation. Is I would be like, look, whatever is going on in your relationship, and maybe things aren't working out right or whatever. Generally speaking, communication, like healthy communication, is what would lead to a better outcome for the average person out there. I honestly think that, but a lot of people don't want to. A lot of people just don't want to talk about stuff that's going on in their head or how they're feeling or whatever. So I don't know what that's about, but you know, I guess okay, hold on. Let me rephrase that. I can understand people having a difficulty like explaining exactly how they're feeling, because they may be feeling something that is not worth being expressed, I guess, right? And let me kind of like round out my thought process around that is that like you might be feeling like you want to punch somebody or whatever, right? That's not like a positive expression out around the world, because like as a society we've prescribed enacting that behavior is negative to somebody else's like autonomy, right? Like the position that they're in would be to not have violence inflicted on them, right? And so it's probably pretty difficult for people to voice that into words that does not create more negativity around them. And that's probably where a lot of that stems from. But, yeah. Honestly, can you accept an ex hanging around or an F-boy? Well, within the parameters of my relationship, it would be very weird to have, like, all sorts of weird people just hanging around, like exes or whatever. So that's my relationship, though. But that's because, like, you know, Vicky and I are on even ground, and it would be weird if she had her exes hanging around and if I had my exes hanging around in a weird way. But I am friends with some of my exes, and Vicky and I have, like, gone out to dinner with them and stuff like that, but they're not just hanging around. Because it would be weird the way that our life is set up to just have people hanging around, you know what I mean? So that would be awkward and weird. Like, why do you have just random people over? Like, at midnight on a Friday or something, for instance, right? Like, our life isn't set up that way. So, yeah. Yeah. But I don't know. On that note, we got no new members today. Didn't do anything to influence anybody into becoming a member. So we shall just say thank you to Matthew Romero for our super chat. And we're going to give a shout out to our newest members, Rommel Bynum, Will C., and Randall Bowman. Those are our newest members. Even though Randall Bowman's been here a long time, he had to re-up. We had to re-up some action. Tater Hater and Warren Seaman. Sorry, man. I bet people have been laughing at your last name for a long time, right? So, but it just literally, I'm a child sometimes when it comes to, giggling, which may or may not get me into trouble for random things every once in a while. But thank you to all of our newest members. Thank you to our longstanding members. Thank you to our medium members. Thank you to our patronizers. Let's go to a random patron. We'll go over here to the patrons, and then we'll go relationship manager. Yeah, I think that's it. We're going to go over here, and we're going to go find a random patron to give a shout-out to. Let's see here. Jerry! Oh, my God. Jerry X, where you been, buddy? Jerry X, shout-out. Thank you so much for being a patron for a long time. And I saw Lady Guinevere as I scrolled back up. Hey, thanks, guys. I very much appreciate you for supporting the channel as you do and as you have for such a long time. And shout out to all y'all for being radical. Thank you, everybody, for coming out, hitting the like button and doing all those button pushing things and all that kind of stuff, and sharing this out with your grandma. And I got stuff I still got to do before Vicky takes off for her afternoon meeting. So she's going to be going to that. I'm going to be hanging out with my daughter, which means I got to get everything done in the next hour and 12 minutes, I think is the number we're looking at here. I don't know. Seriously, I set up the buttons so that I can hit the buttons. Do you see how many buttons I hit wrong? I think I hit every single wrong button. My God. But that's the end of the show. Muchas gracias for toda la gente. I don't know how to say show. I don't know. Adios.